Shalom, call Allah Yahweh Hashem Shah. Shalom to the look. Now this video I skipped past some of this stuff because you can actually go back. It's just talking about how they steal elections, but be aware, you already know how they steal elections. The main thing I want to talk about is how you got this topic that says U.S. malls promise not to nuke first. Now, when you read these prophecies, different scriptures, they actually talk about how the least of the flock should draw them out and so and so. And so on and so on. But see, Esau, they really still had this mind frame that they actually in control of how this judgment gonna take place and how they gonna possibly try to escape it. But they're not in control. I'm gonna let this play. It's just a short piece in this video.
And the bill has only but 12 words. It is the policy of the United States not to use nuclear weapons first. Senator Warren argues that threatening to use nukes first makes America less safe because it increases the chances of miscalculation or an accident. And the U.S. makes plenty of mistakes when it comes to war. You know, like the drone strike back in August that wiped out an entire family, killing 8 innocent kids. Like that miscalculation, later labeled by the Pentagon as a terrible accident.
That's Esau for you.
Now, under current U.S. policy, there are no restrictions on a president to order a nuclear strike for any reason at any time. Now, the military can reject a president's order, but that's only if the strike violates the laws of war and if there's a legal concern about the role of...
And why they keep talking about these nukes, man? So you gotta pay attention to what's going on in the time frame here. And I ask why, just so you know, to question other people's minds that may hear. And I already know why. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 1, it says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turns for whatsoever he will. So Esau get up one day and say they ain't gonna do this. They turn around and start giving them threats out and saying that they're gonna do this. I'm gonna just play some more.
Congress and authorizing a strike, but for the most part, it's fair game. Who doesn't think it should be fair game? This guy, President Joe Biden. Yes. He doesn't want us to be a no first use country because Joe knows Russia is a no first use country. Now, if you want to read the fine print there, though, Russia does reserve the right to use nukes if it's basically like falling apart and its existence is threatened by an adversary, which, yeah, not happening. So, yeah, all this hoopla about how Putin's going to fire a nuke at us, it can't happen.
See? Oh, let me go to this precinct now. You saw it. Try to click on that. See, I don't know who wrote her script. She wrote her own script, but she definitely don't know what the fuck going on. She's saying it can't happen, it won't happen or whatever. Listen to the book of Obadiah. Let's see, I'm sorry, verse 2, it says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Most of the nations right now, they really despise the U.S. In general, Esau, because they don't really be, like, I heard stories from family members or whatever that's been in the military. When they go across seas or whatever, they get treated good. They treat them like royalty. They see Esau red ass, they be mad because they don't be going them over there for real like that. And that's just what it is, because they know who fucking everything up. They know who come around and spread wickedness, the border of wickedness, Esau. Now it says, in verse 2, it says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised, the pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And that's how most of these Edomites feel. Let me run this back real quick.
To use nukes if it's basically like falling apart and its existence is threatened by an adversary, which, yeah, not happening.
Yeah, all right, but look, that ain't what these prophecies say though. Read on some more. It says, verse 4, though thou thyself as an eagle, though thou nest among the stars, this will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things that Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And you have men that actually do a diligent search on everything on Esau, from how they hunt, how they trap, a different jurisdiction, different documents as far as like history and whatever. The list goes on. Millions really search Esau out, and then now it's so easy to search them out because there's plenty of info out. Then you got more Edomites telling on Edomites, so it make it even easier to search out Esau. Verse 7 it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in them. And see, they done did all these backroom deals, trade deals with weapons and sold arms to different little areas, thinking they arming them to fulfill their will the whole time. These people get arms to actually turn on them. Now, verse 8 says, shall I not in that day, says the Lord Yahweh, even destroy the wise man out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau, and thy mighty man on Timor shall be dismayed to the end, that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captives his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem. That goes back to the other video I made previously with the guy, Colin Kaepernick, showing them on the slave lots, and they was actually bidding and picking different slaves. That's how you know who was who. They the ones that cast lots. We was in the lots. It says, it cast lots upon Jerusalem. Even thou was as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, and the day they became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. And they still rejoice to this day. Ride through the ghettos, and they make the little videos, put little stuff online, say, oh, look at these thugs, look at these niggas, look at these monkeys, or whatever they want to call us. They got all type of words. It says, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. It says, thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yeah, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Because you have stories about slaves that actually escaped to different areas, whether it be cross seas or different states. These devils so wicked, they'll go to the state and change up the whole law just so they can come in and put people back in slavery. That's just how they got down and how they get down, still to this day. It said, neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. So this is one particular thing that Esau got to pay for. There's other things that they got to pay for as well, and how they going to pay with their own devices that they created. Let me go see this. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and verse 20. It says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord they have taken against Edom, and his purposes they propose against the inhabitants of Timor. Surely the least of the flocks shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So even though they say they don't want to strike first, or they may strike first, but the other country don't want to strike first, they ain't gonna have to, because they're gonna set it up to where, well, I won't say they are, but the Most High gonna put a spirit on them to set it up to where one of these smaller nations do something, so they can come in and back them up. They'll have an excuse to do something, so that way it'll look like they ain't do it first. It was them. We just helping them out.
So yeah, all this hoopla about how Putin's gonna fire a nuke at us, it can't happen. So I'm sure the neocons and the warhawks on both sides are probably having a field day with this, especially the Democrats. Oh, Democrats. First, you blame Russia for a conspiracy that you concocted, and now the world knows you lied to your voters, you lied to the FBI, and you lied to the country, and now the president, a member of your party, wants to make nice with the country you tried to put the blame on. That, folks, is what I call karma. And we're going to dig more into this, so come with us.
Let's see. I'm glad she said that. Let me go to this real quick. I'm glad she said that. say people pick it with karma. You don't get to pick karma. It just come how it's gonna come. Let me see. I appreciate that. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and verse 10. It says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints." Now, who led who into captivity? Just the question. So who got to go in there next? But they ain't get they just do yet. We're always talking about justice and retribution and reparations and all. That's the real reparations right there. Them working for us, building up our kingdom. But people are always talking about karma. They don't want to hear that karma though. They want to include them in all type of other shit. Oh, we gotta forget and forgive, and you can't think like that, brother. Here it is. That's how people be though. They want to pick the karma. You can't pick the karma, man. You saw them did what they did. They gotta pay for what they did, and that's how they gonna pay. But prior to that, let's see this other precept. It's like you talking about these nukes. And it might sound repetitive, but hey, this is what's going on right now. This is the pre-warn people. They don't know, like, even all this other nonsense going on around the world. Pay attention to this right here. Because you want to do what you need to do. Escape this. Get on the Most High good side. Now it's in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, verse 29. It says, "Call together the archers against Babylon. All you that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she hath done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel." Because you got Esau saying, "Oh, this can't never happen." People always talking about God. They don't know how the Most High really get down. They don't really. You really got to do your research and go read on these different historical events and think about, was this a man-made event or was this something spiritual that happened? Because the flood, the time of Noah, that wasn't no man-made event. Sodom and Gomorrah, that wasn't no man-made event. Exodus, that wasn't no man-made event. Stories like fall of Pompeii, volcanoes go off, that wasn't no man-made event. Let's see. Read on some more. It says, recompense her to her work according to all that she hath done, do unto her. There go that karma again. So what this place done, like how she showed in the video, let me run it back. Let me get back to that part. What it said. This is the topic people scared to talk about at a dinner table. But you gotta talk about this reality, man. This is reality, not that fake shit. And prophecy ain't always sweet. Just say, okay, for example, you having dinner with your family. It's a normal day, sunny outside, you chilling. And then this shit happen.
Of miscalculation or an accident. And the U.S. makes plenty of mistakes when it comes to war. Like the drone strike back in August that wiped out an entire family.
You chilling with your family, you just minding your fucking business, and you hear that drone whistling through there and blow up your whole fucking family. That's just one event. Esau done did this numerous times to numerous families, to nations and all that. This place ain't been touched. Oh, virgin daughter of Babylon. That's why it's called that in the scriptures. Because they ain't been popped yet. Let me go back. It says, recompense her according to her work, according to all she have done, do unto her. So, how you think these nations feel about this? And see, average citizens, they not really thinking of it like that. You might have some people that's compassionate about it and hear about it like, damn, that's fucked up. 8 people died, families, little kids. girls and the boys or whatever, the woman, the husband, their uncles and aunties, they die from events like this. You know, some people's compassion. Most people don't care about that shit. But these other nations, though, they care about it. That's actually an international war crime. That's why the scriptures say how the things of Esau searched out. There's laws on that. You can't just go strike somebody in a country and blow up a goddamn family. Just imagine if Iran sent some shit over here and blew up a motherfucking barbecue. That's a declaration of war. So how do you think these countries gonna respond to this? It just ain't happening yet, but it's coming now. That's why it says, according to all that she have done, do unto her. For she have been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. So that karma, like this lady said, it's coming. Let me go to this right here. Book of Psalms. I ain't gonna stress this out too much longer, so I'm gonna pull a few more precepts and end this up. Let's see. This book of Psalms, chapter 137, verse 8, it says, O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed. And he said this shit about to be made great again. What's the other slogan they got going on? There's some other new slogans. I can't think of it right now, but it may come to me later. It says, happy the one who repays you as you have served us. So, man, the Most High got a vendetta for Esau. Mainly this place, because, man, this place, there be so much shit be going on. It'd be hard to keep up with. Well, there's plenty of topics to talk about, plenty of things to compare and contrast with these scriptures. But old daughter of Babylon, hey, this is coming, man. Even though I got this video on this lady saying, I'm gonna play the clip. And she got that look on her face. But if she make it to that point and see that shit, she gonna black out.
Hawks on both sides are print there, though. Russia does reserve the right to use nukes if it's basically like falling apart and its existence is threatened by an adversary, which, yeah, not happening.
Let me go. There's one more preset. Let me get that I end this song. Let me see. Give me 1 minute. Let me see. It's in the book of, hold on, so I can give me a minute. Book of Luke. Book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 26. It says, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. Because once these go up, they're going to be coming back on the earth. They got to travel from one side to another. It says, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. When people see that, especially a woman see that, they say men's heart's going to fail them. So imagine how the women going to be. They see that shit going up. You hear that loud ass boom. Break through them clouds and the damn sirens going off saying this is not a test. Find your nearest bunker, your shelter or whatever. Motherfuckers going to black out. They're going to fall out, man. And this ain't scary, so. Oh, I said this is going to be the last precept, but let me get this. It's just part of my mind. The book of Psalms. Maybe I'm going to get two of them. Book of Psalms, and it's another one. Nah, and this up. Alright, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 111, verse 10. It says, the fear of the Lord Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments, his praise endure forever. And people be like, why you gotta fear the Most High? The reason why you fear the Most High is they can put the spirit on certain individuals to do stuff around you, make certain events happen. You gotta have understanding to know that. And it'll be out of your control. What you gonna do? Book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 7, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So if only fools despise this type of information and not really consider what's really going on. So that's all I got for this video. I'm making another one. Another one I decided to the spirit to be edifying as well. There's this one. Call all Yahweh, Shem Shah, Shalom to the left.